Hello, my name is Christina Kapothanasis. Welcome to Traditional Chinese Medicine, Menopausal Symptoms, Hot Flashes, and Night Sweats. I am a licensed acupuncturist here in the state of Hawaii, and I am nationally certified under the National Certification Commission for Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine. I am also the Executive Director of the Hawaii Oriental Medicine and Acupuncture Association. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to explain a little bit about menopausal symptoms, mainly focusing on what bothers women most, hot flashes and night sweats, and how we can help that with Chinese medicine. Most people start menopause around the age of 49 to 50. Some people experience symptoms much earlier, up to 2 to 4 years early, and symptoms may last for as long as 10 or more years. That is very troubling, and I know that it's very uncomfortable when people cannot control their hot flashes during the day and or their night sweats keep them up all night long. Some women will start seeing the period irregularity. Maybe they will have heavy bleeding or they will have light bleeding. Their periods might be farther and farther apart, or they might skip periods. They might feel more moody or irritable. They might have insomnia and or different symptoms like dizziness, ringing in the ears, or lower back pain. Their hands and feet may feel more swollen, and they may have vaginal dryness. These are all the same root cause in Chinese medicine, but what women usually come in for and complain about most is the hot flashes and night sweats, so that's what I will be focusing on more today. In Western medicine, they are explaining hot flashes by the decrease of hormones after your ovaries stop producing follicles or eggs that would make you fertile. And as the follicular production decreases and wanes, then the symptoms of menopause will arise. The most common treatment through Western medicine is hormone therapy. They may give oral contraceptives, low dose of estrogen and progesterone to keep the symptoms under control. They may have slight improvement for osteoporosis symptoms, but they also come with side effects of different kinds of cancers like breast cancer, endometrial cancer, ovarian cancer, and or colorectal cancer. And they may also cause thromboembolisms, which are blood clots in the body, which may result in pulmonary embolisms, blood clot in the lungs, and nobody wants side effects like cardiovascular disease and or stroke. So Chinese medicine is an excellent alternative to keeping your hot flashes and night sweats to a minimum or completely eradicating them naturally with no side effects. Chinese pathology does not use the explanation of hormones exactly. We use the explanation of kidney strength. This does not have anything to do directly with the kidney function that you get checked with your regular doctor. It has nothing to do with kidney failure. It is completely a Chinese medicine idea. In the ancient texts, they say that the kidney function starts to rise and develop at age 7. It is full and mature at age 14, and that's why young girls can start their period or menses around age 13, 14, 15. The kidneys continue to mature and develop until approximately age 30, when the kidney function, which is mainly, we're talking about kidney essence, kidney yin and kidney yang, those being the blood and the fluids, the cooling qualities in the body, which is yin, and the warmth and the energy in the body, which is yang. At 30 to 35 years of age, the kidney yin and essence starts waning, and then at 7, they go multiples of 7 in the ancient Chinese text. 7 times 7 is 49. So at 49 years of age is when women should start seeing the period start to fade. So I know that some people come in late 30s or early 40s with menopausal symptoms or perimenopausal symptoms, and this is probably because their kidneys the function is going down a little bit earlier in life. Our modern lifestyle and diet will contribute to early menopausal symptoms showing up because the most prized possession we're trying to hang on to is our period. I know that everybody's so excited when their period starts disappearing. They're tired of having it for so many years. They just want it to be over with. But we want to keep our period as long as we can because that is a sign of youth. So if you can keep your period into your early 50s, then you will be more youthful as you age and healthier. We damage our bodies with the modern lifestyle of go, go, go and our modern diet, which is quite inflammatory. The stress creates cortisol increase in the body, which leads to inflammation. In Chinese medicine, we call that heat. This heat is burning off the nice cooling qualities of yin, and the diet is the same thing. It's a different kind of stress on the body, but it still creates the idea of inflammation that is burning off that cooling essence and yin that we need to avoid uncomfortable menopausal symptoms. In Chinese medicine, the three organs that are most closely related to reproductive cycles are liver, kidney, and spleen. And so the way that we see this is when the stress is too high, it can bind up the liver. And when the liver is bound up, it will draw on the liver's blood, it will deplete it, and over time it will indirectly deplete the kidney yin. If we come at it from the spleen point of view, that is the digestive system. Spleen and stomach are a pair of organs, and they are inseparable, so that when we weaken the digestive system with inflammatory hot foods and we don't have enough cooling foods like green vegetables, then that is the second way that we can damage the kidneys indirectly, because they need to the warmth and the energy from the kidneys needs to digest the food in the spleen, and so it can also exhaust the kidneys like that. So stress and food, in terms of Chinese medicine, that is how we would explain how it damages the kidneys over time. When we have the kidney deficiency, it is something like dehydration, though that is not an exact translation, but you can understand the idea of not having enough fluids in the body and feeling a little bit flush, hot, and then when we have too little kidney yin, we will feel the hot flashes and night sweats. This heat rises. So when we say syndrome differentiation, what are the different types of patterns or subcategories of menopausal symptoms? We will almost always put kidney deficiency on as the first label, unlike other illnesses where we can find many other kinds of syndromes. But for hot flashes and night sweats, it is almost always kidney deficiency. We just have to make sure that the heat created by this lack of fluids is not damaging other organs, which we could put on as the heat rising and contributing to liver fire. These ladies are going to be the ones that feel moody and or irritable. They might be the ones telling me, or their husbands might be the one telling me. If they are suffering from symptoms more like dizziness or anxiety in the chest and insomnia, that is showing us that the heat has risen and disturbed the heart, which controls the mind, and women can feel a little bit of anxious butterflies in their chest or stomach and or dizziness, and then they may also experience insomnia. The insomnia might just be because the night flashes are waking them, the night sweats are waking them, and it might be because they have trouble falling asleep or trouble getting back to sleep after they are woken up by night sweats. We can also see, if it's more severe, that the patients are already having some kind of stagnation appear. The stagnation just means that there's poor circulation in the body. If the heat is really raging, we have so much heat that it's giving rise to heart fire symptoms and or liver fire symptoms, and we have the kidney deficiency, that might boil off so much of the blood and fluids that there's very little blood and fluids to circulate at all. And when that happens, we can see some stagnation. Usually we can see that in the tongue, the color of the tongue, dots, and underneath the tongue, the veins. And we can also look at different signs of the periods that women are experiencing now to see what color the blood is, if they have clots or any kind of pain. Those would all be symptoms of stagnation. We do not want to see dark blood, when you have a period. We want it to be bright red, like fire engine red. We can accept small, tiny little clots like this, but clots that are small, medium, or large, or long and stringy are also signs of stagnation. And I know that some people will feel breast tenderness with their period and or cramping in their lower abdomen or lower back, and that is all a sign of stagnation, which we would need to deal with so that we do not develop other issues in addition to the menopausal symptoms. The number one treatment in Chinese medicine for hot flashes and night sweats is herbal medicine, acupuncture, and nutritional changes, dietary changes. In my opinion, the herbs are the strongest, but if we do not have the backup of the acupuncture and definitely the dietary changes, we will not get optimal results and we will not achieve the results as fast. The herbs are excellent for replenishing the yin, and I brought a selection of them to share with you today. The acupuncture is excellent for regulating the qi, taking out heat, and calming people. And then the nutritional dietary guidelines are excellent for helping the inflammation in the body to go down so that you can absorb the herbs better and not put any more heat back into the mix. Since we are trying so feverishly to take it out, we do not want you to put more heat in. Let's take a look at some of the herbs that I brought for you here today, and I will explain the functions of some of those. These would not be the only herbs that we would use, but this is a selection that would be in a majority of my formulas. I tailor formulas specifically to each person's symptoms, pulse, and tongue. That's the beauty of Chinese medicine. It is very individualized. Niu Zhenzi and Han Lian Cao are two herbs that build the kidney yin and take out the heat. The Niu Zhenzi are a seed of a very large tree. These herbs are very cooling and very mild. The Han Lian Cao is twigs and leaves, and these are the plant-based kind of herbs to build the kidney yin. When we need a little bit stronger nourishing of the kidney yin, we will use gui ban and biejia. These only come in the powder form, so I have brought them here today like this. But they are extremely strong and they are very cooling to take out any of the heat that is rising from the lack of fluid in the kidneys. And it is very hard to build the kidneys with food alone. It is almost impossible if you are over the age of, I would say, around 30 to 35. So herbs are indispensable when it comes to replenishing the kidney yin. And these four right here are my favorites to use. When we see a little bit more of the heat rising, I will have to see if you are strictly kidney yin deficiency. We will notice that your pulse on the left-hand side here on the last finger here will be very weak. If we see that the liver and the kidney pulses are both weak, but your tongue is not very red, then we might stick more with the nourishing the yin herbs. But if where we see in more cases, it's more likely to see that the tongue is already turning red. If you can see my tongue today, it is nice and pink. This is what we want. If you look at your tongue and see that it's bright cherry red and or has a glossy shine because there is no tongue coating on it, then we are going to need to focus more on using these herbs like Sendi, which is a root as well, and Shensen, another root. They are extremely cooling to the blood, and they will help flush out some of that heat from the deficiency of yin in the body, and they will also help nourish the yin at the same time. So these are much stronger for flushing out the heat. If we see that on your pulses, on the other hand, that the first pulse here is a little bit overactive, this would show us that you have heart fire. If it's weak, we may also see that the heart yin has already been damaged, and we will need to nourish the heart yin even more, maybe with an herb, for example, bai he. If we can help to nourish the heart and take down the heart fire, we see by the pulse, we can also see by the tip of your tongue. If you have a lot of little red dots on the tip of your tongue, which you can see right now, then we know that you have more heart fire, and herbs like ginseng, sandi, and or maidong. This is an excellent one for nourishing the yin and taking out the heart fire all at the same time. And this is very gentle. It will not cause any kind of upset stomach or digestion problems. If we see that the deficiency heat is raging and we need to cut it down now, we can also use this bark. It's called huangbo or huangbai, and this is helping to clear heat and damp. We use only a touch of this herb because it is a little bitter, which makes it cold, but it's excellent for breaking that kind of fire, along with another herb we might use, zhimu. These will help to take out that heat while we were continually nourishing the yin. And then this large bottle here I brought is muli for the people who feel a little bit irritable, moody, and unlike themselves. We can use muli, especially if we feel that the liver pulse here is a little overactive or they're experiencing those symptoms. Muli will help to press down the liver, nourish the kidney, and make the person feel very calm. Baihe would be another one to make people feel calm. But since Chinese medicine is not about targeting just this symptom and that symptom, we're really trying to get at the root of the problem being that there is heat created by not enough fluid in the kidneys. All of these herbs will make people feel cooler, which will make them feel calmer in general. We just need to see if it's affecting the liver and or the heart in addition. And if there's any kind of stagnation, we might add an herb, a cooling, circulating herb like dansen that will not be too drying for the patient. Those are some of the herbs that we use, and as you see, they come in the whole herb form, which you can boil, or they come in powder, which is easy for people who have no time, and they can just stir it in water and drink it. Like I said, the acupuncture is also excellent for clearing the heat. It's good for regulating the qi, especially if there's stagnation. We can circulate the qi, and it is extremely calming. The calmer you feel, the happier you are, and your husbands as well. We might use points like Bai Hui and Yin Tang to help calm. Nei Guan will be calming. It will also help with the heart. But if the heart fire is really raging, we might use Da Ling or Senmen, which will flush out the heart fire. And I can also teach people to do acupressure, which is just the massaging of the points. And we usually use these in between appointments to help patients get better results if they can massage their points every day. For people who have stagnation, we might do here in Hegu. And we might do one on the breastbone, right at the bottom of the breastbone here. It's called danzong. It's excellent for nourishing the heart, the lungs, and regulating the qi, and it's very calming. And then we will do points on the lower limbs where the liver and kidney meridians are flowing to help either flush out liver fire that we see or nourish kidney yin with points like fu liu or tai shi. And then if they need some digestive help as well, we can use points like du san li or so san li, chu chi, depending on what their digestive disturbances are showing. A lot of the people that I see come in with not only complaints of hot flash and night sweats, but they are experiencing insomnia, and I see that their tongues are having missing patches of coating. So that brings me to the nutritional part of healing. One lady came in with just these patches that I was describing. The tongue coating should be one thin sheet of white, and we should not see anything where something's been shaved off and there's missing patches where you can see the tongue directly. This shows us that the stomach lining has been damaged, and this heat will inevitably contribute to hot flashes. So I always do a one-on-one nutritional consultation with people to see how we can substitute out the inflammatory foods for the cooling foods that will not only help them, but it will help the herbs absorb better, and it will not cause any more heat. If we get the hot flashes to go away, I hope that people can maintain the lack of hot flashes or minimal hot flashes with just the food alone and not need to rely on anything, whether it be hormones or herbs, forever. The biggest foods that were setting off this lady were wheat and dairy. And we had to do a trial to let her see how much she was being affected. You can take these foods out. 1 week you can try no wheat and dairy. The next week you put either wheat and or dairy in every single day, and you can see right off the bat how much these foods are affecting the frequency and the intensity of your hot flashes and night sweats. People can come in with as many as 7 or 20 hot flashes and night sweats during the day and night, and we can help people reduce these to maybe none or 1 or 2 mild hot flashes during the day and or night. One lady even came in and said she's feeling cool flashes now. She loves it. So if you are feeling 1 mild cool flash a day, I'm sure that that would be better than the alternative of taking hormones and or suffering through it by yourselves. The main foods that will irritate the digestive lining and cause the inflammation that can drain, like we mentioned on the kidney yin, are wheat and dairy. I know that these are very prevalent in the American diet. They're in everything, people say, but they're really easy to substitute out, especially if you have a health food store near you. Anything that you can find in dairy, milk, butter, ice cream, cheese, and yogurt, those things usually have almond substitute. Almond milk, almond yogurt, they have almond ice cream even. And there are many different oils that you can use instead of butter, like flax, macadamia nut oil, or olive oil. It's easy to take these things out once you see the benefits that you can achieve by reducing them. The problem is that just taking them out will not replenish the kidney yin. So if you see a difference with the foods, taking them in, taking them out, and reintroducing them, that is excellent first step to getting on a cleaner diet. And then you need to go to your local acupuncturist. If you are not in Honolulu, we can help you to find somebody that's near you to work with you. But it's really crucial for you to take the herbs in order to rebuild the kidney essence and the liver blood, whichever the case may be. This diet is an easy thing to transition to if you have suggestions, and we help you through the process, and we hope that you can feel amazing. Hot flashes and night sweats don't need to ruin your life, especially if you're just thinking about retiring or still working for several years. You can take it easy and know that one less stress has to be put on you. If you have any questions about our show for today, you can visit our website at ChineseMedicineInfo.com and or call us at 221-9814. Again, our address is ChineseMedicineInfo.com, and we would love to help you find an acupuncturist in your area if we cannot help you ourselves. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Until next time, mahalo!